I think being the only girl playing in the midst of a lot of teenage boys, everyone telling me that I should quit, there's no point in me playing. The uncles were telling
Yeah.
me, my dad, that I shouldn't be playing. I just think that mental hurdle was something that I faced a lot growing up. I think cricket being in the next Olympics is definitely a huge, huge thing. And I think the timing is absolutely perfect because cricket, I feel like it's going to get to its all-time peak. I think it's already peaking. Honestly, I still ask that question to myself today. I really don't know. There's so many things to say about her. I think, um, any word I say right now is just going to be a bit of an understatement. I mean, what can you say about that? It's just one of the most, hearing that phone call and knowing that, I got appointed in that position, it was just the most humbling, and it's just very grateful. I'll hold it very close to my heart. My dad and my brother were basically like my first coaches, and I wouldn't be here without my mom's support. That being with school, with practice drop-offs and pickups. My role model, I think in the women's cricket game right now, would be Laura Wolvaardt. I just think that, I mean, her batting is just so mesmerizing. The energy that she brings onto the
Yeah.
field is just absolutely stunning. I think I would say Nicholas Purin.
Hello and welcome to Cricket Times. Today, we are really excited to have with us the rising star of USA women's cricket team, Anika Kolan. As a dynamic wicketkeeper batter, Anika has stamped her authority to become the next star of USA women's team. So, without further ado, let's welcome Anika on our show. Hi, Anika. Welcome to Cricket Times. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So, tell us about your cricketing journey, how it all began.
So I first started playing cricket because of my dad and my older brother. My brother's name is Anish, and he's 3 years older than me. So when I first started playing cricket, I was born and brought up in California, and there wasn't a lot of cricket community. There wasn't a lot of, first of all, Indian community back then at the time when I first moved into my new neighborhood. So my dad, my brother, and a couple of other uncles had just started. Kind of adding a cricket program into local clubs, local schools. And they were heavily involved in that, but my mom and I kind of like stepped away. We were focused on our studies and things like that. But one time my mom and I were doing math homework at home, and I just wanted a break from the math homework. So I went with my brother and my dad to get dropped off at cricket practice. And from there, I just got really interested. I was immediately intrigued, started asking questions, and a week later, I was enrolled in my first ever summer camp. And from the age of 9 or 10 to now 18, that's just how it started.
Uh, you said that you started playing with your brother as well, and your father played a role. So, just wanted to expand this question that how did your family contributed, in terms of making you a cricketer?
I mean, I would just not be here if my family was not involved in my cricketing journey. My dad and my brother were basically like my first coaches, and I wouldn't be here without my mom's support. That being with school, with practice drop-offs and pickups, traveling 1.5, almost 2 hours for some games sometimes, and them coming to watch my international games and booking those flights and hotels. Yeah, I really would not be here without them, and I'm just eternally grateful for them.
Uh, in between, you when you started cricket, and now you're here. How did you manage your studies, while playing cricket?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough question because it wasn't that easy. So in junior year of my high school, so my 11th grade, but I played in the 2023, like the inaugural U19 World Cup. And for that, I had to take the first half of my junior year online because it was just so much traveling. I traveled twice to Dubai that year already. There were going to be camps, selection camps, and of course the World Cup. So with that, of course, with my parents' support, we were in my school counselor's office 2 or 3 times a week for an hour each time, basically. And yeah, it was just a lot of convincing. And of course, my school did help out a lot. But yeah, it was definitely not easy, but I think finding the right amount of balance and prioritizing whenever you can. I think it comes with a lot of sacrifice, knowing that USA is just cricket is just now growing in the USA. So just those times where you want to relax and you want to push your homework for later, instead taking the initiative to do your homework first or put your studies first and then make that free extra time and put that towards your practice, towards your fitness for your cricket. I think finding that balance is really important. But I think once you set a routine, or if you're adaptable, that's even better. I think once you just find those little pockets of time for you to just put work into cricket and your studies, I think you can get through it, but it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, truly, truly. Were there any, classmates of yours who also, used to play cricket with you?
I currently in where I live in California, I don't have any of the USA teammates on in my school. But Mahi Madhavan, she is on the under 19 women's cricket team. She just got into school as I just left high school. So we're in the same ballpark kind of, and I'm here to support her through whatever. We always text each other, I always ask her, how's her chemistry homework going? Do you need any help or anything like that? But right now, no, I didn't have any of my teammates in my school while I was in high school.
Okay, could you tell us about who are your role models?
My role model, I think in the women's cricket game right now, would be Laura Wolvaardt. I just think that I mean, her batting is just so mesmerizing. The energy that she brings onto the
Yeah,
field is just absolutely stunning. And it's something that I want to keep learning every time I see her. Another would be Sindhu Harsha. I mean, the women's
yeah,
cricket game would just in California, in the US, in the associate nations, it would just not be the same without her. And I think that the kind of legacy that she has, you could talk about it however many times you want, but it would just never match up to the amount of effort and the amount of consistency and passion she has for the game, but also growing it.
yeah.
And I think it's just like it's not just for herself, and she's one of the most selfless people I know because she's doing this just not for herself, but for a whole community of girls. And I know she's inspired thousands and thousands of girls, including myself. So she was definitely be my biggest inspiration, yes.
Okay, what do you think were the challenges, when you were sort of beginning your journey of cricket so far now? What do you think about the challenges?
I think when I first started my journey, I would there weren't a lot of cricketers in the area that I lived in.
Yeah,
And especially there weren't any women's cricketers. And I was actually the first cricket playing girl in the Tri Valley where I grew up. And one of the biggest challenges would definitely be the amount of practice we would get, the amount of facilities. But I think more than that, being a female in the supposedly male dominated game. I think being the only girl playing in the midst of a lot of teenage boys, everyone telling me that I should quit, there's no point in me playing. The uncles were telling
yeah,
me, my dad, that I shouldn't be playing. I just think that mental hurdle was something that I faced a lot growing up, especially because it's definitely not my area that I can just like dominate over. I don't think it's like a gymnastics or like a soccer where
yeah.
it's seen that both genders can play the game. Um, so I think that's something that I faced a lot growing up. But as the women's cricket game grew, as cricket grew as a whole, in the USA, it definitely has gone better. But it's something that has made me mentally resilient. So I think even though it was a hurdle that I faced at the time, it's something that I'm grateful to have faced because it definitely taught me a lot of lessons and makes me the person that I am now today.
Yeah. So, you happen to be a wicketkeeper batter. What do you think about the dual responsibility, both as a wicketkeeper, then as a batter? How do you manage that?
I think it's an absolutely amazing feeling to have that responsibility in the first place. It's something that I think wicket keeping is definitely my safe space. Whenever maybe batting is not in a knock or anything. I think keeping is something that can always go to, and it makes me feel in my zone, makes me feel in control. And having the responsibility of being both a batter and a wicketkeeper, I think keeps me on my toes. But I think more than that,
Yeah.
it helps me get me more in the game, get more involved, seeing every angle. And there's so much to learn when you're behind the stump, seeing how the other batter is playing, but also how the field is kind of reacting to the situation. There's so much to learn there. And as a batter, seeing what I can do to manipulate the field, and things like that. So I think the responsibility is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best feelings ever. So yeah.
Yeah. You said that, managing batting and of course behind the stumps as well. There are some off days, when things don't work out, you know, things just don't click.
Yeah.
Have a bad day behind the stumps or maybe with the bat. So how do you deal with the setbacks?
I think dealing with setbacks, it's something that you have to keep learning day in and day out. I don't, for me at least, I don't think there's any one solution that just makes me feel better instantly. I think, growth is not an exponential process. There's definitely going to be a lot of up
Yeah.
and downs. So something that helps me with my setbacks is taking every quote unquote negative experience as a learning experience. So, if for batting, I didn't have the best net session. Okay, I know, and I can grow from that. So just things like that.
Yeah.
Just looking at the glass half full, if you would say, just to help me get on the brighter side of things, because I feel like, for me especially, and I'm sure a lot of people face this, is that when I feel negative, I just go deeper and deeper into that spiral. And finding my way out of that is one of the most rewarding feelings. So I think that growth and that journey to have a more positive mindset, it definitely puts a lot of drainage on you if it's not working properly. But I think if you start to overcome it, it gives you one of the best feelings. So, it's definitely a long process, but it gets better in that.
Yeah. Truly. You were, appointed as the under 19 USA captain as well. So tell us about that feeling.
I mean, being captain of the under 19 team in the West Indies, for a tour
Yeah.
against the West Indies in Trinidad, I mean, what can you say about that? That's just one of the most, hearing that phone call and knowing that, I got appointed in that position, it was just the most humbling, and it's just very grateful. I'll hold it very close to my heart. And I think it was just honestly an amazing tour. And I'm just truly so blessed to be on the USA team because I think the way that our team camaraderie works, we're just like second family with each other. And I think because of that, it was just so amazing to work with these girls on and off the field, and we're like family to each other. So I think that it was just an amazing tour, lots of learning processes, but yeah, it was definitely very rewarding. We tied that series 2-2. It
Yeah.
got rained out instead of the five series games. But yeah, it's just an impeccable honor that I hold very close to my heart. Yeah.
Okay. As you just mentioned, the last match got washed out. So I just wanted to know, what do cricketers do in that time? When they're supposed to play a match and nothing is going on. So what's the scene in the change room?
I think in the change room, the best thing that you could do at the time is just assess the situation, not read into it too much, and just enjoy time. Like while you're in the change
Yeah.
room, it's raining outside. Who thought this would have ever happened? Just enjoy the situation while you're at it. Because if you just keep stressing about the situation, what you're gonna do once you get back out there, who knows when the rain's gonna stop in the first place. So
Yeah.
obviously having a chat with the coach, having a chat with the team, being prepared for when you can go back out there, but also just enjoying the situation while you're there.
Okay. Cricket is going to be part of the next Olympics. Uh, how do you see it since you also featured in the promo?
I think cricket being in the next Olympics is definitely a huge, huge thing. And I think the timing is absolutely perfect because cricket, I feel like it's gonna get to its all-time peak. I think it's already peaking. USA cricket, both men's and women's, have been doing absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. The USA men's just had an amazing ODI and T20 series in Namibia. and the USA women's team, we're going to be heading over to Zimbabwe very soon for our ODI series against Zimbabwe. So I think all the right things are happening at the right time. There, of course, can be more, and I think there will be in the soon future. But I think it's a great lead up to the Olympics. And just saying the Olympics, it's just not a casual thing at all. It's a very, very big thing, and it's an absolute honor and privilege to have cricket being included in that. But I think the amount of growth that USA Cricket is showing as an organization as a whole, the way the country is expanding its cricket, both the men's and women's, in the domestic pathway, I think it's just wonderful strides that we're showing, and we should be looking forward to a very, very positive Olympic experience. But it's in a few years from now. But yeah, lots of things to do from there. But I think we're on the right path and we're doing well.
Yeah, truly. Wish you guys good luck and all the best. Uh, you said that Laura Wolvaardt has inspired you. So, what qualities of her do you think has inspired you the most? If you could name few qualities.
I think especially being such a young cricketer, and using our experience so well and leading so well from the front, leading from the front as a captain, I think is the most amazing and capturizing quality that she has. But if you want to say other than that, I think her cover drives, I mean, what can you not
Yeah,
be fascinated by that? But I think the way that she resets every ball, the way she's focused every single ball, and just loves the wicket, just loves to stay on the wicket and just spend her time batting. And she makes the most impactful batting rather than just personal scores. I think what she does for the team is
yeah,
absolutely amazing. So that's definitely something to look up to, something to implement in my batting. And I'm sure a lot of young girls want to do that as well.
truly. So, your career is, of course, is on the rise. But so far, if you could, pick just one moment, if I may ask you, what has been the most memorable moment in your cricket career so far?
I think my ODI debut against PNG that we had earlier this year in April in Dubai. I think that's got to be one of my most memorable experience, not because it was just me making my debut, but officially it was our whole entire team making our debut together. So I think just
Yeah,
all of us taking that big leap, making our debut together, hand in hand, just conquering a new series, new format and just going into the series together, united as a team. I think knowing that all of us are backing each other, I have the backing of my team, support staff, and everyone. Having that type of support and that feeling, I think that's very special to me, and that's what makes this team so, so special. So that would be a very memorable moment for me.
T20 World Cup is just about to begin, right? We're gonna begin today. What do you think are the two teams, who will reach the finals?
I think the groups have been absolutely amazing this year. There's going to be a lot of competition. I think Australia for sure is going to be in the finals. I mean, Australia's just been such a strong side for now.
Yeah,
Um, Hopefully I will see India in those finals, and hopefully we see a different that's my personal hope that we see a different final experience between the India and Australia clash up. But I would love to see those two teams in the finals. But I know that England and especially South Africa has leaped wonders with their progress in women's cricket. And seeing Scotland in that associate country, I know that their warm-up games have also been fantastic so far. So it's going to be amazing to see this competition and I think it's going to be one of the most exciting World Cups so far.
yeah. So, moving on to our next question, what do you think if not a cricketer, what would you have pursued?
Honestly, I still ask that question to myself today. I really don't know. I think I would go somewhere in the bio field, because that is what I'm interested in. My family is involved in that field as well as my mom's a doctor. So I've just been grown around hearing those type of terms and eventually I just got interested in it. So I
Yeah.
think something biomedical, somewhere in that field.
Okay. So, if I may ask you about your all-time favorite five hitters.
Laura Wolvaardt,
Okay.
Alyssa Healy, Quinton de Kock. Broccoli, of course. And I'm debating if I should do a women's or men's cricketer. And
Yeah.
then I think Spriti Mandana.
Okay, nice choices, I must say. Okay, moving on to the next segment of our chat. What I'm gonna do is that it's gonna be this or that round. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give you two choices, and
Mm.
you're supposed to pick one.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Red ball cricket or white ball cricket?
White ball cricket.
Okay, hitting a six out of the park or taking a catch thin in the air.
Oh, I think I would say taking a catch.
Okay, winning by big margin or a nail biting finish.
Nail biting finish.
Okay, Laura Wolvaardt or Smriti Mandana.
Hmm. Laura Wolvaardt.
Okay, Virat Kohli or Steve Smith.
Broccoli.
Okay, soup or juice. What do you love more?
Sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
Soup or juice.
Juice.
Okay, Hollywood Boulevard or Times Square.
Times Square.
Okay, mountains or beaches.
Beaches.
Okay, Instagram or Twitter, which is now known as X.
Instagram.
Okay, dancing or singing.
Dancing.
Okay, thank you so much. Now moving on to another segment. This is called rapid fire round.
Okay.
So I hope you know the drills, what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so favorite cricket shot.
The cover drive.
Okay, your all-time favorite wicket keeper.
Alyssa Healy.
Okay, biggest inspiration in your life.
My mom.
Most funny character in your team.
I would say a lot of our teammates are pretty funny. I know for a fact that if I say one of them, they wouldn't leave that fact that I named that
Yeah.
comment, forever. But no, I'd say a lot of our team is very, very funny. Just being allowed them, they're a very lively bunch, and yeah, I don't think I can choose for that one.
Okay, okay. Favorite cricket ground.
The Dubai Ring of Fire.
Yes, beautiful ground. Your dream player to keep, behind the stumps, any player you want to keep.
To keep behind the stumps, I think I would say Nicholas Purin.
Oh,
If
okay.
if it was a co-ed team.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Women's women's I if she doesn't play right now anymore, like for the international, but I would say Sarah Taylor. She was a former England wicketkeeper, and I think she's
Yeah,
got one of the fastest hands ever, and amazing technique. So yeah, Sarah Taylor.
truly. And I think she has been the inspiration of so many women cricketers.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Okay, your favorite holiday destination.
Holiday destination, I think Hawaii.
Okay, your superstition before a match.
Um, Not before, I don't think I have any superstitions before a match, but a superstition I do have is that when you're meeting your partner in the middle during batting and you do that bat knock as you leave each other,
Yeah,
it has to be a good knock. It can't be a bad knock. If it's a bad knock, it has to be done again. So that's my current
okay,
superstition.
okay, okay. Okay, most difficult aspect of being a wicket keeper.
Um, I would say that more than difficult, I think the challenges would be more productive and it just inspires me to keep working harder on it. Um, I think staying in tune for every single ball, especially if it's a longer format like an ODI. I know that at times it can get taxing and a bit tiring. But it's just something that you just have to keep focusing on to staying in tune every ball. And I think the more you just play, the more you practice, it just becomes muscle memory.
Uh, Thank you again. Now, this is going to be the last segment of
Okay.
our interview. what we do is that we name few cricketers,
Mhm.
and you have to pick one quality from each of them.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So shall I begin?
Yes.
Okay. MS Dhoni.
Leadership.
Okay. Elise Perry.
Um, I don't, can I say more than one word?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay. I think the responsibility that she brings into her all-rounder position, and just how she plays more impactful roles than just personal. And I think it's been doing Australia great things for their team. So I think her responsibility, yeah, mainly that.
Okay. Rohit Sharma.
His full shot sixes. Can I say that?
Yes, you can. We all love his pull shots.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Sindhu Sriharsa.
There's so many things to say about her. I think um, any word I say right now is just going to be a bit of an understatement. I think her sacrifice. I think that's one of the biggest things. And I know that it's inspired and motivated so many girls. So I think her
Yeah.
sacrifice that she always brings to the field every day.
Okay. Last name Harmanpreet Kaur.
Her aggression.
Okay. So that was a fun chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Anything? Yeah. Thank you. Anything you want to say in the end?
I think just keep an eye out for USA cricket, both men's and women's. I think
Yeah.
our progress has been amazing. Keep an eye out for the ODI series that we're going to be having in Zimbabwe. I think it's going to be the next chapter of USA women's cricket. And I think it's going to be amazing. Keep an eye out, and just have our support.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Anika. So that was our chat with Anika. Keep watching Cricket Times for more such interviews and exclusive insights. Thank you.